going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Carlisle Catch Up. Now, it's very hard to transition from what we've just seen at the start of the video into the main portion of the video, so maybe not as upbeat as you would expect from this channel to start with, but you are here for the Carlisle Catch Up episode 10. But I do just want to send my love and condolences to the Jota and Silva family, and of course anyone who was friends or associated with either of the brothers. Just tragic news. Really sad to hear. Of course, life is so precious, and you've got to take every day and live it to the most that you can and fulfill as much as you can. You know, if you've got something that you want to do and you haven't got anyone to do it, or no one wants to do it, just do it by yourself. Don't miss out on opportunities. Depend on all others. Live your life to the fullest, to the best you can. But yeah, as I said, there's no easy way to transition from that to this. But there is some timestamps on your screen there for the Carlisle Catch Up episode 10. We're looking at our transfers around 2 minutes, about 9 minutes in. We're looking at the squad update. We've got departures around 10.5 minutes in. Towards 12 minutes, we're looking at staff changes. 17.5 minutes, we're looking at the review. About 25 minutes in, we've got some pre-season news. We've got our new kits at 27 minutes. Around 31 minutes, our fixture list and away mileage is there. And to cap off the episode at around 35 minutes, we're looking at some other news surrounding Carlisle United. So here's another long Carlisle catch-up here. Another 40-minute video, but honestly, I went on holiday last week and I was so behind on the news. And as I speak to you, I literally am going to the airport in about 3 hours to go on holiday again. So I had to get this out, or the next episode would have been about 3 hours long. But we'll start with our transfers then. We made a very good start to the transfer window, and we started it off with a certain man called Regan Linney. Yeah, that is right. Starting our summer with a bang, Regan Linney. And Regan Linney, ex My Type, is now on the channel. If you want to see a compilation of our new goal scorer in action, a little shameless plug there for the channel. But that is now live. You can see it in the bottom corner of your screen there as well. But Regan Linney from Altrincham, signing for Carlisle United, our first signing of the summer. He was named in the Valderrama team of the season last year with a fantastic, I think it was 25 goals or something last year. An absolutely brilliant signing, 10 out of 10 for me. He's played 92 games, scoring 43 goals and 11 assists. He's a striker that can play off the right wing. Be interesting to see sort of where Hughes plays in. But Hughes wanted his business early. He has said he maybe wants one or two more coming in. But what a way to start. What a statement signing to start the National League for Carlisle United, bringing in the second top goal scorer in the division from last year in Regan Linney. But speaking of 10 out of 10 statement signings, Morgan Feeney is back. What a signing again. I mean, just fantastic for the business from Carlisle. Obviously, there was a bit of rough feathers when he left, but I mean, who cares? You know, that's in the past. But of course, Feeney captained Carlisle in the 2022-23 season, where we did capture League One football following the Wembley playoff victory. He's a centre-back. He's played 105 games, scoring 5 goals. One of them there against Oldham, as you can see. What an away day that was. But Feeney's also made 14 England youth appearances. You know what Feeney's all about. He's a fantastic character to have in the team. You know, all the comments from other pros, Thomas Hawley, Jamie Devitt, just to begin, of all said that his character was so missed when he left the club. So that's brilliant to see, because we need characters in that current group of players that we've got. And I'd make him captain straight away. I think in the back four he's going to be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, he will be my captain for next season. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below.
Think you don't see me cause I'm moving so fast. We call it rock and rolling. My weapon seems useless cause you're on to me. You are impossible to read, you're always straight controlling. Oh.
Another shameless plug for the channel there. David Ajiboy x Miss Alyssa is also live on the channel if you want to check that one out. on the channel as well. Another great signing for Carlisle, I must say. A 2-year deal for David Ajiboye. He also featured in the National League Team of the Year in 2020-21 after winning the division. He also won the EFL Trophy in 2023-24 and came second in the EFL Trophy in 21-22 at Peterborough. He's a winger. He's played 283 games, scoring 48 goals. He brings pace. He brings lots of pace, and Hughes has made it very clear with these signings what he wants to do. He wants to play quick turnover, stretch the pitch as far as you can get it, bring the pace on, that quick transition is what he needs. He brings pace, he brings power. He's likely Kadeem Harris's replacement, yes, but that's okay. And he's won the National League before. Another player with pace and power who has also played in the National League before is Julia Lombara. I probably absolutely butchered that, so I do apologise. You know that I'm not great with names, come on. But signing from Salford City, he played 17 times last year for York City, finishing second place on 96 points. I mean, imagine finishing on 96 points and not getting promoted. That's ridiculous. He is a winger as well. He has played 88 games, scoring 5 goals. I've heard quite good things about him. A lot of pace, a lot of power. Again, stretching that pitch. Again, that sort of making the pitch as wide as you can. He's got good experience in the National League with York last season. I think he would be a great impact player. When people are getting tired, when your part-time joiners are getting a bit tired, to bring someone on who's absolutely rapid. He was impressive at York. He can just be a bit rash with chances in front of goal, apparently. But I think if you're going to benefit under Mark Hughes in that circumstance.
Summer on this side ignores me, and it knows I'm imagining things. I wonder if it's time.
Another shameless plug. It is the last plug of the video, but Sam Murray ex-Magic is also now live on the channel as well. The defender joining from Manchester United with his contract expiring. I haven't really got a lot of stats about him because it's hard to find academy player stats. They're obviously not as easy to get, but he's not shy in a tackle. You can see in that compilation he's really good into the tackle. Again, he's got pace, he's got power. He's not scared to put his body on the line. He was quite highly sought after at Manchester United from what I've read. There was a conversation a year or so ago with Eric Ten Hag if he would replace Luke Shaw potentially. So I mean, that's a very promising sign. Definitely, now he's ended up at Carlisle United on a 1-year deal. But he looks good, he looks attacking. Again, that quick turnover player that Hughes wants to play, on the wing with Ajiboye and Junior there. But I think this is a brilliant sign for Carlisle. Hopefully it will push Cameron Harper a little bit as well, to maybe see the best of Cameron Harper too, because I don't think we've seen that yet. And to finish our transfer window, it is Josh Grant coming in from Bristol Rovers, I believe. A 1-year deal with an option to extend, which gives him an opportunity to get fit and everything. I think this is another brilliant signing for Carlisle United. He's a centre midfielder / defender. He started his career at Chelsea before moving on to Bristol Rovers and actually won League 2 promotion with Bristol Rovers and has played 10 times for the England youth setup. In 166 games, he scored 8 goals. He brings a physicality to the midfield that we've been missing for a while. I think it would be a good option next to Callum Whelan in there. I just think obviously that fitness issue, can he stay fit, can he stay away from injuries, is obviously going to be the big talking point with him. But another brilliant signing for Carlisle United. I think we've made brilliant signings all around so far, and Hughes definitely has a plan in place for next season. So, looking at the squad then, as of the 13th of July, of course, probably when I put this video out, there'll be a new signing immediately. But on your left-hand side, you've got what will be my starting 11 as of now. You've also got all the players that are available for Carlisle United. So we've got Harry Lewis, Jude Smith, Gabe Breeze, Archie Davies, Sam Murray, Jake Allen, Sam Hetherington, Cameron Harper, Morgan Feeney, Sam Murray again, apparently. Aaron Hayden, Terrell Thomas, Jack Ellis, Josh Williams, Ethan Robson, John Jones, Callum Whelan, Stephen Warren, Elliot Emberton, David Ajiboye, Junior Lumber, you've got Josh Grant coming in with George Kelly, Charlie White, Kenwyn Scott, Regan Linney, Luke Armstrong, and of course the contract is still offered to Kadeem Harris, who is playing for the PFA at the moment. But looking at what I would have as my starting 11 as of now, I would start Gabe Breeze in goal. I'd have a back four of Archie Davis, Morgan Feeney as captain, Aaron Hayden and Sam Murray. I'd have Callum Whelan with Josh Grant / a new centre midfielder in the midfield. I'd have Stephen Wern just behind the striker as an attacking midfielder with Regan Linney on the right, David Adjiboy on the left, and George Kelly if fit through the middle. If it's not George Kelly, it's Charlie White. And if it's not Charlie White, it is Kenwyn Scott or Luke Armstrong. And Luke Armstrong's sort of the forgotten man, really, isn't he, up front? But that would be my starting 11 as of now. What would yours be? Let me know in the comments down below. Looking then at some departures from Carlisle United. I mean, a lot of them are quite old news now, but midfielder Will Patchen has joined the Northern Irish side. Cole Rain on loan to the end of the season, a very odd one, but good to get him off the books. For now, we do need to move a couple more players on, in my opinion. Glenn Hodges has left his role as assistant coach due to family commitments, but all the best to Glenn. I imagine that was very much, he thought it was going to be a short-term deal and then they'd be offered another deal. And he does live in South London, so I mean, it's a hell of a commute, isn't it? Greg Abbott has left his role as head of recruitment. Rob Clarkson has left the club with immediate effect as well. Very old news there. And Matthew Dennis turned down the offer of a Carlisle United contract and has signed for Notts County. He signed for Notts County, and then Notts County immediately got rid of the manager and got a new one in. So hopefully that still works out for Matthew Dennis. And thank you for your service, but I mean, I'm not too fussed. I'd rather have Regan Lilly in the building, if I'm going to be honest. But he did his job. That's all we can say. So thank you and move on. Looking at the staff changes, Mark Hughes will remain as the head coach of Carlisle United. I think this was the right decision to make. I think he had the fans on board, which was part one. He obviously has a wealth of experience in football. He has the contacts. And he's made it very clear that he wanted the whole pre-season, which is something that he didn't have, and it's a good opportunity for him as well. And he did say there's not many clubs like Carlisle United that could have fans like this that would react in the way and given what has happened during the season. So we owe them one in that regard, and we'll give them something to cheer about next season. I think it's a good appointment. You know, as I say, I think he wants to play a very direct style of football in the National League. It's a new experience for him in this league, but I do think it is the right decision to keep him on, and it'll be interesting to see how we get on next season under Hughes. But he's made a fantastic start to the transfer window, and pre-season hasn't looked too bad as of now either. But who's joining him in his coaching staff? Let's find out.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
That's right, Gav is back. Gav Skelton has returned to Brunton Park to join as a first-team coach in a revamped setup, they say. He operated as an academy coach in 2027 before progressing to the assistant manager, where he's worked under a number of managers at Carlisle United. Of course, most recently, Paul Simpson. The fans are a bit mixed on Skelton coming back. Again, Devitt and a lot of people have said that he's a fantastic coach. He's a fantastic player to have around the spot. So that's really good to hear. And he is a Carlisle lad as well, so that obviously helps. And joining him will be Frankie McAvoy, who has joined Hughes' coaching staff and brings over 20 years of experience as well. He's been at Norwich under Alex Neil. He's been at Preston for a while. He's been at Heart. He's been all over the place. But that's another really good bit of business. He seems like a really good person, again, to have around the club. So there can be absolutely no complaints with the coaching setup there. And Mark Teeney, of course, has came in as a director of football from Altrincham, and he is our head of football and operations. He rejoins Carlisle. He was here for a little bit in our National League spell way back when. But he brings an understanding of the National League, and he's built strong relationships across the non-league landscape, and with that insight will be critical for us to rebound and return to the EFL. And he's looking forward to pre-season. He says that this starts with fitness and there is non-negotiables that Mark and Glyn at the time have been keen to drive home, as we want this football club to be the fittest and the strongest in the league. Now, what more can you ask from that? That's exactly what you need. We need the standards to be better. We need the standards to be higher than what they were over the last couple of seasons. You know, we got promotion to League One on the back of having the fittest team in the league. You know, we just kept going and going and going in that League Two season, which got us promotion. And you know, it's going to be tough this season. There's lots of Saturday, Tuesday games. Martin Fall comes in as well. He has left his role at St Mirren to join up with Carlisle United, having previously been head of recruitment at the likes of Morecambe, Northampton and Motherwell. He is our new head of recruitment, and St Mirren fans were gutted to lose him. Absolutely gutted. So that can only be a good thing. I mean, they actually said he was irreplaceable, which is brilliant to hear, isn't it? I mean, you can't go wrong with that. He said he'll be focused on live scouting. He does want to look at data, but he wants to get out there. He wants to meet the players. He wants to, you know, see the players live and everything, which is absolutely fantastic. You know, and he wants to bring in quality rather than quantity, which is another fantastic sign. But when you're getting someone off another fan base and they use the words irreplaceable, you know you've probably got a good one in there. So I'm really excited to see Martin Fall as head of recruitment. And if it's anything to go by, we've started the transfer window very, very well, as I've already said. Paul Hart has joined as a director of the board, as an advisor to the board, I should say. But Paul brings a wealth of footballing experience, having played, coached and managed across all levels of English football over the last 55 years. And this has covered a range of leagues in both first and academy roles. Tom has said, we are very pleased to have Paul on board, as he has the experience and credentials at all football levels across all aspects of the game. We've already benefited from Paul's input. So Paul won't be in and around the club every single day. If they have a decision maker, they'll ring him up and be like, hiya Paul, what do you think about this decision? What do you think about this? And he will hopefully give them a very level-headed answer. You know, not just being a yes man, telling them exactly how it is. And that might have been some hard truths over the summer as well. But if this is the catalyst to turn the club around going forward, that is absolutely fine by me. Very happy with all the staff changes so far at Carlisle United heading in to the new season in the National League. So the review, I mean, it is linked fully in the description if you would like to read it in full. I imagine a lot of you already have, a lot of you already know the outcome of it. I mean, I think the outcome was pretty self-explanatory. I think a lot of it we already sort of knew, and half of it we were kind of telling them as fans what was going on. But as promised, the board have completed a comprehensive top-to-bottom review of Carlisle United Football Club, led by myself and supported by independent football and business specialist. Every aspect of the club has been examined in detail. Reed Counselling and General Sports Worldwide were the companies who came in and supported this process. Now, fair play for them to doing it, because they didn't have to do it. Let's just get that straight. So fair play for them to actually follow through and to do it. But as I said, I thought a lot of it was very self-explanatory. A lot of it we already sort of would have known. But looking at the football governance and strategic oversight, the systems and processes from board level, leadership, oversight, accountability in football and understanding, the football operations system, the football recruitment department, strategy, planning, scouting, decision making and the execution behind player signings, the football culture and standards, the daily behaviour, values, expectations of players and staff, player contracts, retention and wage structure, the financial framework that underpins the squad management and the financial sustainability, the medical, sports, science and player welfare, the health, performance and wellbeing infrastructure is all critical for success. Now, you know, a lot of that we can look at the accountability, the football understanding. We've said that from board level, you needed somebody in who knows about football to support that process. You know, the recruitment has been absolutely dreadful. The standards have clearly not been high enough on the pitch, let alone off the pitch. And the expectations of players and staff need to be a lot higher going into the new season, especially if we want to bounce back to the EFL at first glimpse. The player contracts, you know, the 3.5-year deals, when you're 6 months from relegation is ridiculous. I'm glad we've sort of learned from that coming into this summer, giving out 1 year deal with options, 2 year deals at most. And of course, the medical and sports science side is massive in football, and that needs to be absolutely bang on if the players are going to have the fitness and have the credentials off the pitch to succeed with the health and performance. I think a lot of the review really you'll see the effects of in 2-3 years, not 2 months. This came out about 2 months ago since recording this video. You've seen some changes, of course. The staff and oversight have came in. The staff changes have came in. They've brought people on board to help them with the football understanding and the contracts and everything, but you need to give it time to see if they've really took on board what has been said. But my key takeaways from the whole script sort of thing has been that the performance over the last 2 seasons has been unacceptable. These are all quotes, by the way. A full reset was required, and this is now underway, which is good to hear. But again, you're not going to see that impact for maybe a season or 2 seasons. This deeper insight will improve board level scrutiny and strategy, guidance of football performance. And that, of course, is where Paul Hart comes into it. Mark Hughes will be having them conversations, well, I imagine, with his experience in football. But they brought in a lot of experience in them staff changes as of this summer. The decline over the last 2 seasons must be reversed. Player staff turnover has led to a fractured culture and a weak football leadership. That is changing. You can see that with the signing of Morgan Feeney coming in, a big character in the team. And then he goes on to talk about recruitment over the last 3 windows has not met the expectation. Despite investing in scouting recruitment, data, we've not achieved the necessary results. Data is not the be-all and end-all when it comes to transfers, as we know. And the process was overly influenced by personal preferences of individual decision-makers. I believe that we'll be talking about Mike Williamson. I could be wrong. And we are developing a new strategical framework to guide every part of Carlisle United. This includes a refreshed version, mission and value that will define who we are and where we're heading. I'll keep that very simple, in my opinion. If you play for the badge on the front of the shirt, we will remember the name on the back of the shirt. It is that simple. To be a Cumbrian, it's about being hardworking. It is about putting your all in every single time you step onto that pitch. That's what your DNA should be. None of this palaver about, fancy, fast passing football, Barcelona 2009, Pep Guardiola-esque. It's about wearing the shirt with pride and passion and playing your heart out when you're in the shirt. That is what makes a Cumbrian for me. If a player goes on the pitch and has a bad performance but gives it 100%, then that's all you can ask for. You want 100% all the time. And that is the minimum you should be asking for when you step onto that pitch at Brunton Park. But the fire and ambition within the club is stronger than ever to win, grow and aspire. Very American, that. By building high-performance, inclusive club rooted in the integrity, ambition and exceptional teamwork, our goal is clear: to assemble a squad capable of promotion, supported by modern, effective infrastructure and high standards in every department. Carlisle United belongs in the EFL, and our entire focus is getting back there and pushing forward. We know it would take hard work, discipline, unity, but we are ready. Again, very American, lots of words there. Lots of buzzwords, I would say. Unity, discipline, inspire, etc., etc. We remain fully committed financially, operationally and emotionally to restoring Carlisle United to where it belongs. With over 3,000 season tickets already sold, we are deeply grateful for your belief in the club. That fuels the support, everything we do. The future is ours to shape with the club's continuous backing. We will return Carlisle United to where it belongs, a club competing with pride, progressing with purpose, and making you proud every step of the way. Up the Blues, Chairman Tom Paquette. At least we've dropped the on the north rubbish. But yeah, a lot of buzzwords in the whole statement, really, if we're going to be honest about it. I mean, it's good to hear these things, but I think a lot of fans, myself included, we're not bothered about words anymore. We want results on the pitch, and we want this to be the stepping point. I think a lot of Carlisle fans have been very good in sort of agreeing that this is now a step towards a reset, a rebuild, which you probably wouldn't get at a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs' patience would have grown very thin by now. But a lot of fans are happy to have this as a restart, to have this as a fresh opportunity. The fact that we're giving players after a woeful season, after a woeful 2 seasons, the fact that we're giving them another chance and we're sticking by them says a lot about the Carlisle United fan base, in my opinion. But what are your honest thoughts of the review? Please let me know in the comments down below. It'll be interesting to see what other people think about it. But yeah, I thought it was good that they've done it and everything. But as I say, a lot of words. We want performances now, not words. But fair play for them to do it, to be fair, and to take it so seriously. They obviously have a commitment to the club, we can see that, and I think that's why we are giving them an opportunity. We can see that they want to be involved in this club. They want to spend money. They want Carlisle United to be a championship side, a League One side, whatever it may be. But that starts with the National League. What are your opinions? Let me know. Absolutely criminal to cut that song off there, isn't it? But Motherwell won, Carlisle 0. A mistake leading to a penalty gave Motherwell a win. Not the end of the world. Our first game as sort of a team there, so not the end of the world. Newcastle beat us 4-0 in another behind closed doors friendly. But again, the likes of Joe Linton, Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, a very strong Newcastle side. Nothing to be ashamed of there. On the 19th of July, we take on Fylde away. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff. On the 22nd of July, we take on South Shields away. That's 1:45 kickoff. On the 26th of July, we take on Harrogate Town away. Again, a 3 o'clock kickoff. And then we end our pre-season a week before the season starts against Chester FC. That is away down there as well. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff, Saturday, the 2nd of August. A decent variety there, to be fair, from Carlisle. I know a lot of fans were upset we didn't have the local teams in there. But, there is an understanding of why, obviously, with the whole thing last year with Penrith sort of battering Charlie Wyke on the pitch. We don't need any of that. But moving on to our kits then. We have got some lovely kits this season, starting with this home shirt. It's split opinion. I didn't like it at first, but I'll tell you what, it grew on me massively. I went with an 8 out of 10. I really like it. I really like it as a full kit, if I'm being honest. With the shorts and the socks, it looks really nice, to be fair. So they've definitely done a solid with the new home shirt. The away shirt, I need to see it in person before I can make a decision on it. I went with a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's the end of the world. But I must say, I'm not a fan of this Carlisle X Jaguars stuff. Just keep us in Carlisle United colours. Don't make the transition between Jaguars and Carlisle for the sake of it. I know there's a connection there, but we're not bothered, let's be honest. The goalkeeper kits, green one, I'm not a massive fan of. I don't think the colour and the sponsor look great together. The pattern's very bougie and wild. I went with 5 out of 10, but that away kit there, that's a bit more like it. 9 out of 10 there with the away goalkeeper shirt. That pink colour is very, very nice, to say the least. Looking at some travelling and training kits then, we've got Peter Tyson there, as you can see, absolutely huge on the front of that. That grey zip top looks gorgeous. And then you see that billboard on the front of it. You got a bit of a under-19s training top there. I think that's horrific as well. The blue's a really nice blue, but I'm not a fan of the stripes, to be honest. It's sort of a orangey red, is it, on the navy blue one there? But again, you're just looking at a Peter Tyson logo, aren't you? It's what you go to. But you can see Hughes there with one of the waterproofs on. You've got David Dadger Boy with one of the zip tops as well. So, interesting to look at the new travelling training kit and what your thoughts on it. Let me know in them comments down below. But there they are, the home shirt, the away shirt, and the 2 keeper shirts. We've had a lot worse. We've definitely had a lot worse. We've had better, but we've had worse. What are your thoughts, though? Let me know in the comments down below. Will you be picking up any of the new Umbro kits Carlisle United have released this season? Looking at the key dates then for the Enterprise Rent-A-Car National League. How tin pot and awful does that sound? But that's what we are in. That is the new season sponsor. It is the Enterprise Rent-A-Car National League. I mean, it's terrible, isn't it? The fixtures are released, or the fixtures are out. The season begins on Saturday, the 9th of August, which is under a month away. Thank God football is back. Final game is the 25th of April 2026, with the playoff final being either Saturday the 9th or Sunday the 10th of May 2026. Hopefully Carlisle can bypass the playoffs and just get straight promotion out of the National League, the Enterprise Rent-A-Car National League, should I say. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult season. It's going to be an interesting season, to say the least. But at least there is one thing that we don't have to worry about next season. And that is, of course, the National League Open Invitation Cup, whatever the hell it's called. We've rejected the opportunity to do it. Thank God for that. Carlisle United Football Club can confirm they will not take part in the National League Cup after consulting internally with the football department and the Carlisle United Supporters Trust Board. The club has decided not to enter this season's National League Cup. It's great to see that we actually sort of had a choice. You know, with the EFL trophy, we were never going to drop out of that, financially wise, and just because of the FA and everything. But we have a choice now, and we've dropped it, thank God. So have Southend, Hartlepool, Eastleigh, Yeovil and Altrincham. So we've started a bit of a bandwagon there, haven't we, of clubs rejecting the proposal of the National League Cup. But I'm glad that we're not in it. You know, we don't need any more fixtures. Focus on winning the league. That's all you need to do, winning the league, getting promoted, whatever it is. Just get out of the National League. Focus solely on that. So yeah, good to see the club have been a bit proactive with this one, taking on board the fans' opinion and getting us out of the National League Cup for next season. But let's look at some fixtures then, shall we? They're on your screen there. As you can see, we take on Walking away, Bournemouth at home, Solihull Moors at home, Wellstone away, Brainstone at home, and Braintree, and then Sutton away in August. September is Brackley, Truro, Aldershot, Altrincham, Yeovil and Rochdale. October, Hartlepool, Scunthorpe, Forest Green Rovers, Yeovil. November is Halifax, Southend, Eastleigh, Sutton and Boston, that says. Sorry, I'm looking at a really small image here. Boston and then Tamworth. December is Woking, Bournemouth, Gateshead and Morecambe. January, Wellstone, Solihull, York, Altrincham, Aldershot. February, Rochdale, Scunthorpe, Forest Green, Yeovil, Hartlepool, Eastleigh. March is Southend, Tamworth, Boston, Halifax, Braintree, and finishing in April is there. I mean, I've run out of time. You know, I could hardly see them numbers, I'm going to be honest with you. I couldn't see what I was talking about there. But looking at the National League map as well, you can see there Carlisle and Gateshead sitting very pretty up top in the north, and the rest of them are south, all over the place. 10,656 miles we'll be doing on the road next season. On the road, yep, back again. But yeah, 10,500 miles. Ridiculous. And there'll be someone who goes to every single away game, won't there? There will be. Crazy. But there is some good away days in there from a Carlisle perspective. Just a shame they're all on Tuesday nights. Thanks, National League. Really appreciate that one. But jokes aside, a massive long trip. Really for all the games, apart from your Hartlepool, your Gateshead. Morecambe's not too far. You got your Manchester clubs. But then you're looking Midlands, look at Boston there, and then you've got your Yeovil and your Truro and everything like that. There's a little bit of more statistics there for you guys as well on your screen there. I'm not going to try and read that because I'm looking at this on a very, very small screen at the moment as I'm talking to you. You'll be seeing it on a much bigger picture, so you'll be able to see that. But it's got the name of of all the stadiums and the mileage and everything like that in just a bit more detail. But absolutely crazy mileage for Carlisle as per usual. I seen someone on Twitter the other week saying that we've just done a 600-mile round trip and it was a killer. I'm like, yeah, that's just a standard Carlisle away day, mate. Get over it. If you're a Carlisle fan, you'll know this, but it takes ages to just get anywhere, unless it is a Newcastle or a Manchester's maybe 2 hours away. But even still, it's still a hell of a trek down, isn't it? But yeah, some key information there, some mileage for you guys. The fixtures, you can see them in full, you'll know them in full. But which away day are you looking forward to the most this season? I've got to say, for me, it's Yeovil. I really fancy Yeovil away this season. I don't know why, of course. Hartlepool's always a top away day, of course. Rochdale's a decent day out. Morecambe, if there's still a club, will be a decent day out. York would have been if it wasn't a midweek game. There's a few in there I'm looking forward to. But what you looking most forward to? Again, let me know in the comments down below. Let's have that discussion where you most looking forward to going next season. And finishing with some other news, Carlisle United then, the Women's Euros to be shown in the fan zone. I think the group stage is finished now, but if England have qualified, which I believe they have, probably be more games in the fan zone. The youth team played their first game at the Sheepmount with a 3-2 win over Middlesbrough. The Sheepmount coming on leaps and bounds as our training facility. Carlisle United have received an EFL Gold Club Bronze Award. Fantastic to hear. Mike Williamson, ex-manager, has landed a first-team coach at Rangers. Wow, unbelievable. And another ex-manager, the one we a bit more like, Paul Simpson, showing how good of a man he is and just showing his personality. He's training with Carlisle City just before he goes off to Jamaica with the Jamaican national team. Season ticket sales are up from last season, and Carlisle United are the favourites to win the National League title. There also 4-7 for a top 3 finish and 1-9 for a top 7 finish. So very heavily favoured to do well this season is little old Carlisle United. Where do you think we'll finish? Tell me in the comments down below, because I've got no idea. I've got no idea where we're going to finish this season. But so yeah, just some other little bits of news there with Carlisle United. And well done if you've got to the end of the video around 37 minutes in, because we're making these Carlisle catch-ups a bit longer these days, aren't we? But what do you think about the new graphics with the catch-up? What do you think about the little song in the transition? I'll be honest, it makes it a lot easier for me because I'm not talking for 40 minutes straight. It gives the video a bit of a break-up. That's what I've sort of went for, just to, move away from my voice. Just get a bit of background music in there, and then I'll come back into it with the important news part as well. So what do you think of them? Let me know in the comments down below. Lots of things you're going to be letting me know in the comments down below, isn't there? But the Carlisle Catch Up episode 10, it has been a pleasure to be back. The summer's been very quiet. We've done the compilation videos. But yeah, the summer's been quiet. We need to get some football back, don't we? Absolutely. But don't forget to follow my socials at CUFC YouTube. That is Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok. We are there on there as well. So don't forget to follow me on there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been CUFC, and I'll see you in the next one.